So I'm pretty sure like everybody knows this, but like before TikTok and Instagram, the like majority of online presence really just came from MySpace. Personally, I was too young to be on there. I really just used the internet to play Roblox. But at one point, MySpace practically like owned the internet. Now I'm only talking about this because I was listening to some old music and going through like the description, I'd see MySpace links. And it's not like these links were broken. Like it would lead somewhere, account would be like restricted or page just empty. And that kind of led me to just like wonder what the hell MySpace is now. So MySpace wasn't just a place where you could just message your friends. It was like the center of self-expression, like online music, creativity, and like, you know, all those like glittery backgrounds and the text, like those nostalgia bait stuff that you see on Pinterest. But honestly, my favorite part about MySpace was like the music side of it. Like small musicians and artists, like MySpace became the go-to place to upload your music and actually get discovered. A little bit of it reminds me of like when I used to use SoundCloud and like all the people back in like 2020. Like I really wish we had more stuff like this kind of like, you know, music bubble. And like especially since like SoundCloud is so bad now. But either way, the downfall of MySpace really came with other social medias becoming more mainstream, you know, cleaner and easier to use, and slowly the internet started moving on from it. So at its peak, MySpace was like directly competing with Facebook for users. But while Facebook was growing fast and focusing on simplicity and structure, MySpace started heading in a different direction. After it was bought by new owners, the focus shifted away from the creative side of the platform, the thing that like actually made it special and like was unique about it, and just became more towards like ads, profits, and scaling it like a big ass business. Anyways, over time, the site getting cluttered, you know, it's running slower, it just wasn't as clean and enjoyable as like Facebook. People were just leaving the platform because more social medias were becoming like focused around like the social interaction, and I guess that's what the majority liked. Eventually MySpace did try to come back by like rebranding itself as like a music focused platform, trying to lean into what actually made it special in the first place. Like it was too late, like everybody already moved on. But MySpace didn't really disappear. Now I don't care to look at like the corporate garbage on it like now, but if you go on it today, it still exists, but it's not like a social media platform anymore. It feels more like it's like a digital ghost town. Like old profiles are still there. It's just broken layouts, you know, images are missing. And then like the music players, they don't work anymore. But like what makes it like more interesting and like a little bit sad is what happened around like 2015 and 2016. During like a major server migration, MySpace lost a massive amount of like its older content. 50 million songs, like 14 million artists, like a huge portion of the platform's music history, especially from its like peak years. It was like either corrupted or just like completely lost. And you know, like that matters because MySpace, it just wasn't like a regular social media. It was like one of the biggest early platforms for like independent music online. For a lot of the small artists, it was like the first place their work like ever existed on the internet. Since then, MySpace itself hasn't been able to fully recover what was lost. And while there has been attempts to preserve or rebuild parts of it, a lot of the early content is considered permanently gone. And I feel like that's what makes like the current MySpace feel like so strange. Like it's not dead, it's just like incomplete. Like you can scroll through it and see the traces of what like it used to be, but it never really comes back to life. It's less of like a platform now and more just like a leftover version of the internet that just exists in the background. But nothing ever really disappears from the internet. It just becomes harder to find.